All right. Uh, I just finished Stranding. Um, I know it's been a year when this game came out. I didn't really want to touch it because at the time I guess I just wasn't really that interested, especially after what happened with Metal Gear Solid 5. After I played that and beat it, and I was like, that twist. So, anyway, I beat it, and I'm gonna go over what I thought about this game. So, uh, let's see. Where should I start? I guess I'll start with the goods. So, some of the gameplay on this, I liked a lot of it. And I mean, you know, I will admit, at first, I was, I heard a lot of ramblings that the game was very boring. Like it took too long to get to places from, from each episode, and so many empty areas and this and that. And so, from what I've seen, just to put that down real quick, well, in my opinion, they were kind of right. In a lot of ways, like it took a long time to get to certain places in the game. This is before you get the bike. So, I kind of find that kind of tedious. Kind of boring at the same time. So many places you had to get to. But after when you get the bike and all that, it kind of sped up a little bit of things. And I got to admit, the presentation kind of reminded me of Metal Gear Solid 5. You know how MGS5 started with the whole hospital, like everything just felt like wow, everything plot-wise, just everything just picked up, everything was just, the plot was deep from there. This reminded me of that. The beginning of this game felt exactly like that. But unfortunately, it felt like Metal Gear Solid 5 in a lot of ways, even after. Like, after that picked up, after all you done all that in the beginning was a great, what hell of an intro. Then you get to the meat of things, and everything just slows down, So, I can kind of see why Kojima did it that way. I mean, in a way, it kind of reminded me of Kojima saw Zelda Breath of the Wild and was like, you know what? I can do that and mix Metal Gear with it. Some things he learned from Metal Gear Solid 5. I can mix some of that and just bash it in and, mix it all with the Zelda theme. And that's what he made with this. And mind you, I'm not really that much of a fan of Zelda Breath of the Wild. It's, I love some of its gameplay and all that, but from a story perspective, I'm not even, who are we kidding? The previous Zelda games, Hideo Kojima, yeah. The previous games I really didn't really enjoy. So, oh, great. What is this? So there's a quick little thing at the end of this. Wait, Louis? All right, I'm a little bit confused here. All right, so, before I even get to what the heck we just saw, I'm going to say that it's like, Kojima, he saw Zelda Breath of the Wild, and he was just like, I can do that with Metal Gear, with my Metal Gear theme, and bam, this is what you get, like I said before. So, getting to all that, yes, most of the game, I got to admit, like, it really is what they, if you thought that Final Fantasy 15 and Metal Gear Solid 5 was a walking simulator, this one puts them all to shame. And I mean that 100% fault. I mean, I guess that's the idea, behind this. After all, it was more like a delivery UPS type of game. So now we got that out of the way. yeah, you know, like the game was kind of much of a drag in a lot of ways. Like it dragged on a lot. Story. Okay, so I did like the story in some places. You know, it was pretty good. Um, getting my favorite part, honestly, would be getting close to the end. I think it was a chapter 8. Was it 7 or 8? Where you fight that giant BT. That was just like, wow. You know, it's funny. When I first saw the trailers to that, I was like, every time I saw that in the trailers, I'm like, Metal Gear. So, anyway, so I did that. I fought what the heck that guy's name was, Higgs. Killed him, and then, you know, I went through pretty much after that, the majority of the game just went on one hell of a on. It was more like a movie on rails. Like there really wasn't much after that. Like once you hit chapter 8 and 9, like that's pretty much it. Like that's it. That's it. There's not much, nothing much else. But I honestly wasn't really complaining about that because most of the game was pretty much already one hell of an open drag anyway, in my opinion. Like I said, I like some things of the open world, but a lot of it just dragged. It dragged. And so, yeah, the story, wow. When I got to the end, I was just like, you know, getting close to the end, there was like it was like a boss rush. It was a boss rush, okay? I remember fighting, because they say that because what's happening on the breach, things in things in the world are like getting worse. So like the BTs, they got stronger. So that means every time you encounter these things, you get a boss rush. You get bosses. So as I was getting towards the end, where I had to deliver these, what do you call it, like a blood thing back to Fragile because she needed it. Before you get there, I encountered like 4 bosses all at the same time, and there was a 6th one, but that was one but you fight by itself. It was a giant whale. So the 4 of these gosh damn things, I was like, I paused the game and I'm just like, Kojima, why 4 of them? And I didn't even have that much ammo with me. So good thing though, good thing you're able to, you know, I mean, I guess that's the idea. You're able to run out, you know, out of the circle and they'll just vanish. So I was about to say at first, like, I was just like, no, no, no. Okay, so after I beat the whale and then went through all that, pretty much like everything from that moment on, it's just a straightforward, it's one big ending. It really is one big ending. And I thought that you think that Metal Gear Solid 4 has a long ending. This game puts that to shame. Like, it puts that length of that ending to shame. Believe me when I tell you that. It's like most of the explanation is right at the end of the game, and it's a long explanation. It is very much of a mind fuck. I will say that. And spoilers, if you don't want to know what it is, get out. I mean, the game is already a year old. You know, like I said, it took me a while to get to this game, you know, to play it and see why everyone was calling it boring and all this other stuff. So if you don't want to be spoiled, get out now. All right? Okay. Here we go. Get out now, or, you know, close the video. Turns out that Cliff's baby is actually Sam. What the fuck? How does that make... I mean, in a way, it does make sense that Sam has a... he has like a sort of... It's like a C-sectional, like, cut, like, on the stomach. It looks like a cross, but you know, you wonder why he has it on his stomach. Same goes for Cliff. Cliff has it too. The guy who Mads plays as, he has it too. So I'm wondering, because you know, you get to see I think Mads at one point, you know, where he has pretty much his clothes off. He has the same type of stitch on his. You find out during the ending, Mads was holding or Cliff was holding was it, BB, and they both he gets shot with BB, and they just shot him right through him, and it also went through the baby too. So I'm like, wait, what the, I was like, oh my God, the scar on Sam now makes sense. But I was like, wait a minute. So wait, but how did, okay, I'm kind of confused. How does that make sense with, why is there another BB? Where did that BB come from? Is that supposed to be Sam? I'm still confused about the ending. Who's who? Is it? Oh my God. See, after this, after I'm done making this video, I'm going to go and, I gotta go research this. I gotta go look what everyone else is. Because, I was gonna go spoiling myself before I played the game, and I'm like, you know what? Before I rant, I gotta play the game first before I could have those bragging rights to rant about the game. So I did that. So now I can tear this game a new one, because now I've actually played it and I've seen everything for myself. So now, I have the rights. So I did that. So anyway, I'm going to go do that now. So now I can go look what everyone else has thought about this game from beginning to end. I need more explanation on why are there two BBs? Like, why are there two of them? I know one of them was Sam. What is the other one? Louis, because I heard him say Lewis at the end. I wonder. I'm really, really confused. Okay. So, and it turns out Emily wasn't really, it really existed, and what was her name? The so-called, the mom who pretty much died at the beginning. It turns out she was actually part of a calamity. So I'm like, what the fuck is this? So you get, like I said, you get all that expositive information at the end of the game. So I'm just like, what? I'm like, at the end, I'm like, okay, now it feels like very Kojima clusterfuck now. Now it's starting to feel like that. You know how Kojima can be. So yeah, I'm gonna go do that. But anyway, like I said, that's my thoughts on Death Stranding. Yes, and I will admit, a lot of people were there are a lot who are right that the game takes a lot to pick up. Like, there's a lot. The music, oh my God, I did love the music though. I absolutely love the music. It added a lot emotionally to, and that ending, the ending was very emotional. I honestly, I teared because I thought that, the way you see Sam holding the baby at the end, and like, I thought BB was dead. I'm like, because, I think it was, if the thing is, if I remember, when somebody dies, you have to burn their corpse, because if you don't burn their corpse, a void out happens, meaning everybody in the whole area pretty much, it becomes a giant crater, if I remember, if you don't burn that person's corpse. So at the end, it was getting kind of emotional. It was very emotional, impactful, because the baby was, you thought the baby was dead, so you had to burn the corpse because it was gonna, necro, necro, it was gonna necro, whatever, what do you call it? So yeah, but man, that ending. So anyway, that's my thoughts on Death Stranding. You know, I still haven't decided what I'm going to give the game yet, from, for a rating. I don't know. So, that's it. All right.